NBA 2K18 tutorial number 30. We'll be focusing on another freelance offense today, and what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna show you guys a small ball freelance that is designed for def lineups. So all of these famous small ball lineups you've been seeing in NBA lately, I'm gonna show you guys a small ball freelance that's perfect for it. So this is a user designed freelance, and I will be demonstrating this with the Houston Rockets and GSW and showing you how to do this with their style of small ball. And for those of you who know small ball, you need to understand small ball is and was never really about just shooting, right? It's not about spacing the floor and just standing there. Small ball is about playmaking, where you have playmaking and shooting through position 1 through 5. But playmaking is more important than shooting in def lineups. So in real life, Iggy and Dre can't really shoot, but their dead lineup, the Golden State dead lineup, kills it in real life. This is because the holy grail of dev lineups, the goal is to utilize 2 screeners and 3 shooters and have them all playmate together. And I'm gonna teach you how to do that on 2K today with my small ball freelance with dev lineups. And there's actually a series of cutter plays from the Portland Trailblazer playbook, and we will be using the Warriors motion cuts freelance as the base, alright? So make sure you have the Blazers playbook equipped in the coaching sliders section. And also, you gotta give a cutter play to a non-shooting wing. And you can do this now because 2K patched it. So for the Warriors, we're gonna give cutter plays to Iggy. And for the Rockets, we're gonna give the cutter play to Ariza. Alright? And you can do this now, online or offline, because 2K patched it. So freelance action number 1 is actually the play cut free horns rip. And this action is designed to unleash your shooting elite handler. So your Curry and your Harden, so Chris Paul. So you can see I'm calling the play for Iggy. So you're always going to call these plays for the cutter. So I've called cut free horns rip for Iggy. Curry brings it up. And the play, the freelance action, starts in the horn spacing with the cutter in the corner. So you can see Iggy is in the right corner over there. So what's going to happen is the power forward is going to set a screen for the cutter to slash into the paint. And as that develops, you're going to enter the ball into the elbow to Green in this case, and the center you're gonna have him hand off to Iggy. So make sure you're doing a handoff by dribbling towards him and holding circle. This has to be a handoff, and as the handoff develops, KD is gonna set this back pick for Curry, and you're gonna skip past it to the corner for a wide open free ball. And family, that is gorgeous def lineup small ball freelance action right there. And that's only one option. You can also have KD bring up the ball, so anybody who has play initiator can bring it up. So watch, we're gonna enter the ball to Draymond, hand it off to Iggy. Durant's gonna use that pack pick, catch it. There's clearly no corner free here, but don't worry, because of the motion and the velocity of the play, you can just catch it and do a straight up catch and go, and you'll mostly blow by everyone. And as you drive it in, your team breaks back into 5-out spacing. You see the 5-out spacing right there with Durant who kicks it out, 4 guys outside. We skip it to Curry, swish bomb from the corner. And yes, you can also have Klay Thompson bring it up. So you call the cut free horns rip again for Iggy. Always go for Iggy. Enter the ball into the elbow. Iggy gets the first screen. Hand it off to him. Draymond whole circle and turbo. See that pack pick. Skip it to the corner. If Klay is open, lightly contested. Doesn't matter. Swish. So let's take a look at freelance action number 2. And that's the play cut 1-5 horns alley. And this action favors your stretch 5 to shoot. And also your cutter to shoot or score to dunk. So you can see I've called the play for Iggy once again, and I'm bringing it up with Curry. So that sets up the small ball freelance branches. And it starts off in horn spacing again, but this time the difference is in the corners are all the shooters. So the cutters are no longer in the corners. So the cutter is actually the one that's going to set an on-ball screen for you. While the center, you look at Draymond Green, he's going to go down screen the corner man, which is Durant in this case, the power forward. So there's an on-ball screen and an off-ball screen happening simultaneously. Whole team spaces out, cutter rolls hard, forces in the help. We swing it to Draymond, back to the spread spacing in the corner, swish bomb. So that's only one option. There are plenty of other options. So the on-ball pick and roll here, you can see it opens the strong side corner because they gotta bring help on that Curry drive, which is Klay Thompson. So that's 3 points. Same thing here again. We call the play for Iggy. He sets the pick. We get the drive. We get the roll. They break down. We get the corner man again. Klay all day long. And if the initial screen is good enough from the cutter, so in this case Iggy, you can just use it and just drive it in there and finish with 2 points, right? If the handler can finish like Curry, Harden, or whoever you like to handle with your def lineups, 2 points. And also, you can swing out of the pick and roll, catch it in the corner, swing it back to the power forward on the wing, and that is still good for another free ball. And there's more. You can also hit the cutter who rolls really hard to the rim. So if he's open, just throw it in there. So if they bring help, you find the shooters. If they don't bring help, you get the roller. And if they bring help for the rollman, you get to finish with the handler. And here you can see the Rockets running it with their version of the dev lineup with Tucker and Mabamamute as the picks. Tucker screens the power forward guy perfectly. Open shuffle loop, swish ball. So you can see it here again. Harden is running it with the cutter as a Ariza, so he sets the pick. We're gonna skip past it all the way to the corner, to the center, to Luke, and he hits an open free ball. So you need a stretch 5 for this, but it works great. Now here's freelance action number 3 for our small ball freelance dev lineups. Cut 5 horns dive, and this action is designed to unleash your playmaking stretch 4. So in the case of the Warriors, this is for Durant. This is designed for Durant to dominate. So once again, we've called the play for Iggy. Cut 5 horns dive, and all 3 of these do start in the horn spacing. And this time you can see his shooters in the corner again instead of the cutter. The cutter is actually at the elbow. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna enter the ball to the elbow at center in Draymond, and the power forward, so Durant, gets a double down screen from the wing to the from the corner to the wing from Iggy and Curry, and then the PG Curry actually sets another off screen to send the cutter into the paint. So you're gonna give the ball to Iggy, and then look at Curry again. He's gonna curl back out and set a back pick for Durant. So now you skip it to your playmaking stretch 4 in the corner. That's wide open. All those Curry screens are nasty. So you can see it again. Another option, we're gonna get the power forward, a free out of the initial double down screen. So if this opens him up, just shoot it. 2K has a weakness of guarding this, so if that double down screen opens up Durant, do not hesitate. This is the first look of the play, and if this is open, you just gotta wait it out. You see that? He's open, just do it. No hesitation. Swish bomb it. And that's why this freelance action on this play, this branch in my small ball freelance is so good. Because if the paint is clogged, you can see there's no down screen free, the paint is clogged, so now I'm going to hand it off to Iggy. I'm going to dribble towards him with Draymond and hold circle, which is perfect because hand off is a very safe pass. We're going to skip it to the corner again. They covered it, but there's motion. We blow by them on the catch and go. Opens up Clay in the opposite corner. And obviously, unlike the first freelance action branch where you have to hand off, this one, because of the way it's set up, if the cutter is open, you can just pass it. You don't have to hand that off. And then you can still skip it to the corner out of that back screen from Durant. Crazy good. And in that instance, we bought it up with Clay, so it still works. And you can see it again. There's also an early horns katana option, as you can see there. So I'm bringing it with KD. We just enter the ball into the elbow, hold X, and just do a katana with turbo. Skip around Draymond, force the help, use that spacing, Iguodala mid-range. Perfect. So those are all of the clips I wanted to show you with the Warriors, but you can see from these clips that are working great with the Houston dev lineup, which is Harden at point, Eric Gordon at the 2, Ariza at the 3, PJ at the 4, and Luke Mamamute at the 5, or PJ at the 5 and Luke at the 4. So this small ball freelance is something you must adapt to, and it's something you have to learn, because most of the premium teams in 2K, or your own My Team, you should create a dev lineup for yourself. But don't get it twisted, right, family? A dev lineup is not a lineup where there are 5 shooters. That's the amateur and casual player way of thinking. That's not the dev lineup. The dev lineup is about at least 3 elite shooters with a big that can shoot, alongside with other guys that can play make. So players like Iggy, Ariza, they can shoot, but they're better playmakers. Like Ariza can pass for a guy that can cut and shoot, and Iggy is perfect for this. So you gotta understand, a dev lineup is where you have playmakers all across the board. The center, the power forward, the small forward, point guard, shooting guard, they're all playmakers. They're all guys that can handle and make a pass. That's what a dev lineup is. In the real life NBA right now, obviously Warriors have a dev lineup. Houston have a dev lineup, especially with Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, and Harden, and PJ Tucker, and Luka Mamamute. That's a dev lineup. Oklahoma City does not have a dev lineup because they don't have enough playmakers or shooters, right? And if you're thinking, oh Sam, what about the Knicks? I can run a 5 out with the Knicks or Porzingis. That's just a space the floor spread it out lineup. That's not a dev lineup because the Knicks don't have enough playmakers. Like, what are you gonna do? Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, Kristaps, who else is there? Ramon Sessions, and then maybe like Lance Thomas. Like, that's a lot of guys that can shoot but that's not a dev lineup because you don't have enough playmaking. Alright, so what I showed you today, this small ball freelance, these free plays from the Portland playbook, the cutter plays, that's what it's for, and this is how you do it, and you can see it's unstoppable. And I'll show you guys this with online footage after you guys learn it from this footage against Hall of Fame computer. So I'll be showing you guys everything that I've been teaching lately online, just like the other video that I did that you guys like. So this is really good, and you have to get it down. Like throughout the course of a game, if you sneak in a dev lineup, you can just run this because you can always change your playbook in coaching sliders. And actually, the Sixers playbook have two of these plays. It has the Freelance Action number 1 and Freelance Action number 2. The Sixers playbook actually has that. So if you want to run the 3-point money plays I've taught you with the Sixers playbook alongside with these kind of plays, then you can actually still use the Sixers playbook. What you end up missing out on is you don't have that the third Freelance Action branch. The one where you open up your playmaking stretch 4. That one is not in the Sixers playbook, but the other two are. So because of that, this makes it really strong. The Raptors playbook also have, I think, 2 of these, but not 3. Only the Portland Trail Blazers playbook have all 3, so that's a choice you have to make if you're playing online. Offline, not a problem at all because you can switch playbooks whenever you want. But the key to this is that you need to hand off to the cutter more often than you do not. I suggest hand it off to the cutter, unless the cutter is wide open and it's an easy pass. Hand it off to the cutter 95% of the time. This is because in 2K, it's just like in real life actually. A handoff is a pass that's very hard to steal, right? If you're trying to squeeze the ball into the cutter like that, a handoff, you can see here, this handoff it just saves you from getting the ball poked, and it still gets the hardened swish ball. So a handoff is the way to go when you pass from the elbow big to the cutter man in 2 of these Freelance Action branches. See, good handoff. A little bit messy there on the bobble, but it still opens up hardened, which allows us to attack in motion. The play doesn't really work here, but we can still attack out of motion because that's how 2K is this year, and really opens everything up because we're still using Warriors motion cuts as base. So make sure you do that, Warriors motion cuts as base for everything this year, because it's just by far the best freelance basing out of all of them. Like if you run anything else, you're just being silly. Unless it's horns, like the way I showed you guys in horns, because you don't have a spread the floor team, then you gotta run horns. This will also work with horns, even though you're running a dev lineup, because dev lineups can free shooters, right? So let me know if you guys enjoyed this. Try it out for yourself. I guarantee you will have success. Like this is so good. So as always, thanks for coming by. I'll see all of you next time.